Listen very closely because the United States financial system is gearing up for a massive reset, and 99% of people have absolutely no idea it's coming until they check their bank accounts and realize their money doesn't buy what it used to. Right now, the United States is sitting on a $39 trillion debt crisis, and the man taking charge to fix it, the brand new chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank, has a very specific plan to cancel this debt problem. The only issue? You cannot magically make $39 trillion disappear without somebody paying the price. And that's the part the mainstream media isn't telling you. But here is the secret. While this transition is going to cause a lot of financial pain for the average person, it is going to create a historic opportunity for the financially savvy. In this video, I am going to break down exactly what this new plan is, how the government intends to erase this massive debt, and most importantly, what you need to do right now so you don't get wiped out, and instead, find the opportunity to build your wealth even faster. Let's break it all down. Just so we are all on the exact same page, the Federal Reserve Bank controls the money here in the United States. But despite the fancy name, they are actually not a bank. You and I can't open a checking account there. They are not a reserve. They don't have vaults filled with gold or cash just sitting around. And believe it or not, they are not actually federal. It says so right on their own website. And the reason why that is so incredibly important for you to understand is that the government cannot legally tell the Federal Reserve what to do. You probably remember all the headlines in 2025 about President Trump being furious with Jerome Powell, the previous Fed chairman, because Jerome Powell wouldn't cut interest rates as quickly as the government wanted. People were asking, can't the president just fire him? The answer was no. Because they are not a federal agency, the president couldn't just kick him out. But this is exactly where everything changes. Because Jerome Powell's term is expiring, the door is wide open for a new leader. And that new leader is a man named Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is stepping into the most powerful financial position in the entire world on May 15th. And his agenda is vastly different from what we've seen over the last few years. Why is this happening right now? Because we have hit a breaking point. The United States government is sitting on over $39 trillion in national debt. But the $39 trillion isn't even the scary part. The truly terrifying part is the interest payments on that debt. The United States government only makes money one way, through your tax dollars. And right now, the fastest growing expense for the entire government is not the military. It's not building new bridges. It's not schools. It is just the interest payments on our national debt. We are now spending over $1 trillion a year just to pay the interest on the money the government already spent. That means more and more of your hard-earned tax dollars are vanishing. They aren't going to fix your roads or protect your neighborhood. They are just paying the credit card minimums on previous mistakes plus interest. Now, before I show you the new Fed chair's exact strategy to wipe this debt away, I want to make sure you understand how the government actually thinks. Because most people falsely believe that the government is going to solve this crisis by tightening their belts, spending less money, and paying off the debt. That is absolutely wrong. That is not what history tells us. Because while history doesn't exactly repeat itself, it definitely rhymes. Let me show you exactly how the government has fixed their massive debt problems in the past without actually paying off a single penny. Because once you understand this, you can predict exactly what's coming next. See, the United States government does not pay off its debt. Instead, they try to inflate their debt away. Let me explain what that means. If we look back at the 1940s, right after the Great Depression and World War II, the United States had a massive debt crisis. In 1946, we had $271 billion in national debt, but our entire economy, measured by a number called GDP, was only $222 billion. That meant our debt to GDP ratio was 106%. We owed more money than our entire country produced in a year. So did the government stop spending? No. They used a secret weapon called financial repression. Financial repression has two main goals: make the government richer and make the savers poorer. Here is exactly how they did it and how they are planning to do it again. First, the Federal Reserve Bank slashes interest rates and keeps them artificially low. By artificially low, I mean they keep the interest rates lower than the rate of inflation. Second, the government basically forces large institutions to buy their debt at these terrible losing interest rates. Back in the late 1940s and 50s, inflation was running hot, sometimes 5%, 7%, or even close to 10%. But the Federal Reserve Bank kept interest rates close to 0%. Well, what does that mean for you? It means if you save your money in the bank, you earn absolutely nothing. And if inflation is at 7%, but your savings account pays you 1%, you are violently losing the purchasing power of your wealth. At the same time, the government needs to borrow money. When the government borrows money, they issue a treasury, which is just a fancy way of saying a loan to the government. Because the Fed kept rates so low, these treasuries were only paying maybe 2% in interest. Let me ask you, if inflation is 7%, why on earth would you lend your money to the government to only make 2%? You are guaranteed to lose money. You wouldn't. But the government passed regulations that practically forced banks, pension funds, and major financial institutions to buy these treasuries anyway. By doing this, the United States government was able to borrow money for essentially free. The inflation rate was higher than the interest rate they were paying. The government got richer, they were able to grow the GDP faster than the debt, and the debt to GDP ratio plummeted from 106% down to just 25% by the 1970s. But the cost was paid by the savers. The people who held cash lost their value. Fast forward to today, we are looking at over $39 trillion in debt, and our debt to GDP ratio is sitting around 125%. It is worse today than it was in 1946. But there is one terrifying difference. Back in the 1940s, the government took out 10-year, 20-year, and 30-year loans. They locked in those low rates for decades. Today, the government has been borrowing money using 1-year and 2-year loans. It is almost exactly like the United States government took out an adjustable rate mortgage on $39 trillion of debt. If interest rates stay high or go up, the interest payments will skyrocket. And this is exactly why the new Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh, has a new 3-point master plan that he wants to execute. Number 1, Kevin Warsh wants to aggressively cut interest rates. President Trump has demanded time and time again that the U.S. have the lowest interest rates in the developed world. By cutting rates, the cost to service that $39 trillion adjustable rate mortgage drops drastically, but more importantly, it kicks off the exact same financial repression we saw in the 40s. If inflation hovers around 3%, and Warsh cuts the Fed funds rate down to 2.75%, we are officially in a world where interest rates are lower than inflation. The government borrows cheap money, and your cash loses value. Number 2, he wants to shrink the Federal Reserve's balance sheet. During the last few years, the Fed printed trillions of dollars out of thin air to lend to the U.S. government by buying treasuries. Kevin Warsh wants to sell those off and pull that printed money out of the economy to fight inflation. Normally, if the Fed is selling treasuries, there are more sellers than buyers, so interest rates would go up to attract new lenders. But Warsh believes that private demand from foreign countries, banks, and pension funds will magically step in to buy this debt at low rates. And if they don't, keep your eye out for new regulations forcing institutions to lend to the government, just like we saw happen in the past. Number 3, Kevin Warsh believes artificial intelligence is going to help this entire process. He claims that the Fed can cut interest rates and pump cheap money without causing massive inflation because AI is going to bring the cost of things down. If AI cuts corporate costs and increases productivity, prices of goods might actually stay tame, even as the Federal Reserve cuts rates. So what does all of this mean for you as an investor? Because in every financial transition, there are clear winners and there are clear losers. The absolute losers are going to be the savers. If you are sitting on a pile of cash in a basic savings account, a CD, or hoarding cash under your mattress, you are going to be a loser. Financial repression is designed specifically to make the savers poorer. Inflation makes the average saver poorer because we've seen throughout time that the average person's income never rises fast enough to keep up with inflation. But it makes the financially educated wealthier. The clear winners are the investors. Throughout history, whether it was stocks, real estate, gold, or Bitcoin, asset prices go higher during periods of financial repression. The people who own assets get richer as the fiat currency loses its value. At the end of the day, you have to do something with your money outside of just cash and saving it. You have to own assets. That is why it is so critically important that you understand this. You need to know how to not spend all your money on liabilities and turn a piece of your paycheck into investments that will benefit when these massive economic changes happen. It doesn't mean the market will go up in a straight line. We will see recessions and market crashes, but over the long run, asset holders win. There are a lot of changes coming to our economy, and we are going to keep you posted right here. If you got value out of this video, the best thank you is a referral. So if you could please share this video with a friend, a family member, or a colleague, that way we can continue to spread this type of financial education. Thank you. Our economy is going through some of the biggest changes we have seen in our lifetime, all in 2026. And while this economic craziness has made people scared to invest, do you want to know a secret? This economic craziness actually creates some of the best investment opportunities of our lifetime.